Hello children, welcome back to the online classes conducted by Trinity Convent Higher Secondary School. And here we are back with our second part of the second chapter, that is nutrition in animals. In the last part we have already discussed about what are the different modes of nutrition taken by animals, and we have also given an introduction about how the digestion in human beings takes place. Now in this part we will be taking about how the digestion in human beings take place in detail, studying about each and every part of digestive system. Then we will be dealing with digestion in grass eating animals, and at last we will be discussing about feeding and digestion in amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organisms. We have already discussed about cell and cell organelles and different parts of cell in our class 6th. So here we are going to see about specifically how the feeding and digestion takes place in amoeba. So first we'll be discussing about digestion in human beings. So the first part of the digestion starts from the mouth, that is the buccal cavity. Now food is taken into the body through the mouth. सबसे पहले फूड को हम अपने मुंह में लेते हैं और उसको चबाते हैं. तो जो फूड को लेने का जो प्रोसेस होता है, that food taking process into the mouth is called as ingestion. Then we chew the food and then physically we break down the food into small pieces. Now different tooth in our mouth is having specific functions, and that is why they are giving specific names according to it. Next comes our food pipe or esophagus. Now this is only the structure of food pipe and stomach. Food chew करने के बाद, when we chew the food in our mouth with the help of our teeth or tooth, this food goes down into the esophagus. The food pipe runs along the neck and the chest. The food is pushed down by the movement of the wall of food pipe. Actually, this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal and pushes the food downwards. Next is our stomach. What is stomach? Stomach is a thick-walled bag. Its shape is like flattened U, and it's the widest part of the alimentary canal. It receives the food from the food pipe at one end and is open to the small intestine at the other end. Various things happens inside the food. For example, the food inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juices. The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. The acid kills maximum bacteria which we are having in our food when we take it inside our stomach, and it makes the medium of the stomach acidic, helps the digestive juices to act. What happens is the hard complex substance of the food gets broken down into smaller proteins into simpler substances. Next is the small intestine. Small intestine is a large thread-like structure which is approximately 7.5 meters long. It receives the secretion from the liver and pancreas. Various juices are secreted at liver and at pancreas. That juices are received by small intestine. The liver is a reddish-brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side and the largest gland in the body. It secretes, that is the liver secretes the bile juice, and that is stored in the gallbladder. In the small intestine only, this bile juice plays a very important role in the digestion of the fats. The pancreas is the large cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on the carbohydrates, fats and proteins and changes them into simpler compounds. That means initially they are in the complex part and then finally it becomes in a simpler compound. The partly digested food is now reaches to the lower part of the small intestine, where the intestinal juices completes the digestion of all components of the food. The carbohydrates gets broken down into simpler sugar such as glucose, fats into fatty acids, and glycerols and proteins into amino acids. So this is the function of small intestine. Now what actually happens in the small intestine? The food is now converted into smaller substances. The process after the food is converted into small substances, the energy gets absorbed in various parts of the small intestine. This is called absorption. That means the digested food now passes into the blood vessels in the walls of intestine. This process is only known as absorption. Now here is one important fact or one important point which you have to take care is the inner walls of the small intestine has thousands of fingers-like outgrowths, and this is called as villi, or we can simply say it as phylus. The villi increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. Each villi has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. Surface of the villi absorbs the digested food material. The absorbed substances are transported via blood vessels to different organs of the body, where they are used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body. This process is called as assimilation. In the cells, glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water. The energy is released. The food that remains undigested is now pushed to the large intestine. So here comes the function of large intestine. Now, studying about large intestine, it is approximately about a length of 1.5 meters. It is wider and shorter than the small intestine. Function is to simply absorb the water and some salts from the undigested food. The remaining waste product is pushed to the rectum and remains there in semi-solid phases. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time, and this is called as egestion. Digestion in grass-eating animals. Grass-eating animals are basically consisting of ruminants. Now, ruminants or ruminants, what are they? Grass-eating animals like cows, buffaloes are ruminants because they have a separate part of the stomach called rumen. They quickly swallow the grass and stored in the rumen, where it partially digested form cud. Now this cud, in the process of rumination, returns to the mouth in small lumps and then animals chew it. Grass contains cellulose, which is digested by special bacteria present in the sac-like structure located between the small intestine and large intestine. Last part of this chapter consists of feeding and digestion in amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism, and this is the complete cycle on how the amoeba takes food, and even the digestion happens. Now, this pink color part is the food particle present in the surrounding of amoeba. Amoeba forms a circular structure to engulf the food. In the second step, we are able to see that the food is first covered by the amoeba and then it is engulfed inside. The food particles or the energy is taken and sucked by the amoeba particle, and in the fifth step, the waste product is being ejected out. So here from step number 1, that is ingestion. Step number 2 consists of digestion. Step number 3 is absorption. 4 is assimilation, and 5th is finally egestion, that is taking out of the waste product. This chapter is all about feeding or taking nutrition in animals. Hope you would have understood.